So I've been doing real estate for, I hate to tell you how long, but more than 25 years, let's just say that. And I can't think of a project that I have not been part of that has something to do with real estate. I've done commercial development, I've brought in breweries, I've developed a downtown program, I've flipped, historic homes, I've restored historic homes, I've created strip malls, I've developed land. I can't think of one thing that I haven't done, and including flipping houses.
So hold on, you've been doing real estate since you were 5?
Yes, thank you. Yeah. I was just 5. I was brilliant even when I was 5. Yeah. I love this man. Hi, I'm Paula Boland, and you are with Paula B Coaching, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I can't think of a real estate project that I love, that I haven't been involved in, but what I love the most, anything that I love more than flips. And here's the reason why. It's one way, you can scale. This is a real estate model that you can scale in months. You can be at multi-6 figures in a short period of time, like literally 6 months. For one thing. The other is this house that we're in right now that we're going to take a tour of, it was not in good shape when we got it, right? So when I started managing the project here, when I started flipping it, there were holes in the walls. This is not what you would have seen. And it's not completely finished now either. Maybe we'll come back when it is totally finished. You know, I'd love to have your feedback then.
I would love to see it.
Yeah. But one of the things that happens is that you can create something amazing and beautiful and use your creative skills to think about what you want while you're making something look better in the neighborhood, right? I mean, I think it was you, my cameraman, it was Keith, that said to me, I can't believe that this neighborhood didn't get after, for what it was like before. And a lot of times that's how I get these projects, is the HOAs having problems, or somebody's inherited it and they haven't talked about it, been able to take care of it or whatever happened, or they're about to lose it or whatever, and it's not in good shape in the neighborhood. And so you start doing this flip, and the energy in the neighborhood goes up. Yeah. The energy inside goes up. Yeah. It just feels so good.
It already feels good. I know you said you're not done, and it feels.
I know you were walking through saying, "I like this house."
Yeah, I want to know, like what did you have to change and upgrade?
Okay, well, we're going to go through, because I'll tell you, I do want to tell you, in terms of looking at doing flips, if you're, look, it's a great real estate model to get into. The person who owns this house, he owned it and was renting it out for a lot of time, and he decided that he no longer wanted to rent it, so he's just going to put it on the market to sell it and then reinvest the money from it in other flips. So he's flipping this to go into other flips. He is going to put in his pocket well over $400,000 when we get done with this. Oh, wow. So, but he had owned the house a while and had a lot of equity in it and things like that. But usually a flip project that I would be involved in, like coaching you, or when I look at something in my model, I don't look at something that I can't make more than $50,000 and put it in my pocket when I sell it. That's the bottom line of what I look. And you got to get real about this. You can fall in love with the house, you can fall in love with the idea, you can fall in love with the concept, and sometimes you want it so bad because you want to do that, that it ends up being, you don't make your money. And I'm going to tell you 3 things to really, the things that really make a flip make you money. It's what happens on the front end, what happens in the middle, what happens in the back end. So let me explain that. And this is usually coaching secrets, so I'm giving you those, I'm spilling the tea, as they say. So the front end is, of course, finding the project that you run the numbers really well and make sure you make the money. At least $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, is a profit, right? The middle part, and then you get a team that you trust. Every time that I have had a flip go bad, and I have, only a couple.
Going outside the team.
I didn't have my team in place. And it was always a nightmare. In fact, the one time that I borrowed somebody else's team who promised everything to me,
Right.
I almost lost everything.
Oh, wow.
So make sure your team is in place, and that is something that I'm just like set on. I always help people find teams if they need it. I'm really good at that. I have lots of resources, you know, all those things. But that's the middle of the project, and also in the middle of the project, start looking for somebody to buy that thing. Whether you're starting, whatever you're doing, you want to be kind of stopping the project and having
Right.
people interested in it, right? So that's the middle, and then the end product is to make sure you push a little bit the price, which we're not doing here, but and we don't always do this, right? But the ideal is that you push. You gotta have a cushion, right? But you know, push the price a little bit and get that buyer involved, and as soon as you can, right? Get done as soon as you can. So that's part of the team because they need to move, get done. If you hold something for 6 months or more, you know, you're starting to lose money because you got holding costs and all the things, okay? So in terms of like the 3 pieces that'll make it zero risk, because everybody worries about the risk, right? What if it doesn't sell? What if it, all the things. This is how you deal with the risk, front end, middle, back end, okay? When you buy, after you've bought the thing, or maybe before you bought the thing, there's some things in a flip that you want to look for. Well, first of all, this is a big house.
Right.
I would not usually flip this size of a house unless I had somebody that really wanted it, okay? Because it's harder to find a buyer. A lot of times your flip people are first-time home buyers, which is a lot of what I love about it because people that wouldn't be able to have something as beautiful as you're creating because they could never build it, they couldn't find it, are able to move in as a first-time home buyer and have something really, really gorgeous and really, really nice, right? So you want to stay like mid-size and you want to finish the product, the house, put finishes in that are mid-grade. Okay, so it's kind of mid, because a lot of times it's first-time home buyers, which excites me about this because I'm helping people buy a house, right? Okay, so the other thing is you want to make sure, and everybody knows this, I think, your kitchens and your baths sell a house. So if you're going to invest money, invest it in the kitchens and the bath. Okay, and, I mean, you got to do other things. You can't have like no floor in a room, but you know, or whatever. So, you ready to take a tour? Okay, let's go. So we walk in the house, we walk in the door here, and we see this presence of this house is lovely because it's very high ceilings. It feels open.
Did you add that chandelier?
We did not. That was there, so we used it. And that's another thing about flips is go through a house and figure out what you can use, right? Because everything you got to tear out and replace and rebuild is, you know, more money out of your pocket. So, okay. So you walk in this house and it's got this great presence. It's in a super neighborhood too.
It's a great neighborhood. I pulled down. I was like, oh, these are some nice houses.
That's right. It's very walkable. People, you know, I wouldn't be scared to be here at night.
Yeah, me either.
That's one of my criteria. Would I be scared to be here at night? Because I don't want anyone to ever live where I wouldn't live.
And it's like, it seems like the neighbors are probably friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm surprised they're not over here looking at what we're doing because it's, you know, upgrading what's going on. So, so you walk in and you see this presence. If you look, the flooring, you want the type of floor to be a flow in a house. And so if you're on one floor, if you're on 2 floors, you really want to have a visual that looks all the same. So don't be breaking up tile in one room. I mean, you could do it in a kitchen, but you want to have, and so we put hardwood floors in this house.
Okay.
This floor, these had vinyl floors in it. It didn't fit the house. Tore them out, put hardwood floors in. It was a little bit extra of a cost, but it's worth it. Okay, so we're gonna look. This is like, you know, one of those sitting rooms or office spaces, something like that.
Like I would make this like the formal living room.
Yeah.
Living room that
right.
Nobody sees.
The prayer room. People go in there and rest. No, got the plastic on the chairs even.
That's the room grandma say, hey, don't sit on my front.
I know, right? Don't sit it's just there to look. Yeah. Okay, and so then we have a formal dining room, right? And the finishings in this house because you want the style of the house to match the neighborhood. The finish in this house are our upper, because this is a bigger house, it's in a very nice neighborhood. So you've got the box molding, the crown molding, you've got a very nice chandelier. And this is, you know, a formal dining room. Some people don't use these anymore, so you might have somebody that wants something like this to tear it out and just use it for something else.
Like, yeah, just have this open space. But I would actually, me personally, I would actually have a nice dining room setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and use it for the holidays.
Yeah,
especially.
holidays.
Yeah, so
well, I bet you could put a pretty Christmas tree over there too.
Yeah.
Boy, this would really, I mean, wow. Think
I
how,
love the large windows
Yeah.
too.
yeah,
That's different.
Yeah.
In houses this size.
absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna walk in. We've got this big open space. It's really important, any house that you can now, is open things up. You know, a lot of the flips you might be looking at, or the potentials, might be a house from the 1940s, 1960s, and they made all those little rooms.
Right.
And so if you can afford it, open things up as much as you can, okay? So we have this great open living room, a fireplace. We'll walk back there. There's a screened-in porch that's being remodeled still. And so some of what's happening in this house is it's still almost done. It'll be done next week.
Right.
But you can see like the process, right? This is one, there's 3 baths in this house. And all of them kind of have the similar style. We went to other houses that are selling in this community, in this area, and looked at the type of finishes that these houses have. And this is kind of it, this kind of glass shower, the sleek look.
The new modern.
Yeah, the new
the tile walls.
the big tile that goes all the way to the top. So I love this bathroom. I love it so much that I took a picture of it and sent it to my contractor, and I'm having my home redone with this bathroom. So yeah, you always want to look at what's happening in the neighborhood and the type of finishes.
What did it look like before?
Before it had not tile, it had like a linoleum kind of look that was looked like tile. You know that linoleum tile look. And then over here was like a cabinet that was dark brown, kind of broken up.
Okay.
And there was these shower inserts that were plastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here was there. I mean, it's the same configuration. We didn't change the configuration, but this, and always, if you can, stay with the same configuration in a bathroom and a kitchen if you can.
Okay.
Because the more you move plumbing, the more you move electrical,
The more the cost.
all the costs go up. The thing that'll really cost you tons of money that you want to, you know, make check marks about in a flip of a house is the structures, the roof, the foundation, the electrical, the plumbing, the HVAC.
Okay.
When you have to redo those things, those costs go way up. They could take up a half of your budget even. Okay, so this, we kept the same structure, but you know, we just ripped out the floors and put new mirrors in and lights and all the things, which, you know, that just totally sells a house. It's very breathtaking. This is an office / bedroom. If you want your own, like maybe you had
Put office with a futon in it.
there you go, office with a futon. And what I love is this is downstairs, so it's convenient to the kitchen. And you know, you got your screened-in porch right over there. If you ever wanted to, you might be able to make an entrance into that screened-in porch. But so we've got this big living room, wide open space. And then we go into the kitchen here with my cell phone laying there. Hopefully it doesn't ring. Very big kitchen. This kitchen is still in remodel state, and you can see we are utilizing the same cabinets. And that was a hard decision to make. But when you're flipping a house, you have to kind of balance out, you know, what can you do, what can you not do? And these are hardwood cabinets. And so they're really good quality. And tearing them out and replacing them would have taken like another, like maybe even $40,000 onto a budget for nice cabinets. Right. So we made the decision, and it was a hard one.
So did you change the?
Those were changed. They were changed recently, but they were changed before we took the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I actually kind of like them.
Yeah, I like those too. Those are cool.
I've never seen that. Kind of make it look royal.
Yeah, there you go. So we're, of course, this is going to have all new appliances in here, stainless steel, and we're about to have the, and this will change this kitchen totally when you get the countertops in. There's so many times that I walk in a house and I I'm really picky about like what things look like when I, flip things. And I start to look at the kitchen, I'm like, I don't know, I just don't know. But when those countertop goes in, it just changes my mind, when it just brings it all together. So we'll have to come back and do another picture here. Of course, we have a big pantry, which is nice for a family, or somebody that likes to, eat in secret. Not that I've ever done that.
The emotional eaters.
Emotional eaters. This is great.
Oh wow, I didn't know it keeps going.
Yeah.
This storage. It keeps going. I guess you keep your doomsday.
Harry Potter. That's Harry Potter's room back there. Okay. So if you are interested in flipping homes, one thing I do have is a mastermind. It's called Flipping Made Easy. You can jump in there. It's a 3-month mastermind, and I take you through the process of how do you find the home, what's your budget, how do you get going, how do you get financing, and then I help you scale it. Okay, which is really important. So that mastermind might be great for you, or working with me one-on-one, but getting somebody involved to help you move along is going to be the piece that makes this from one project to millions.